Once again, everybody, welcome to What the Fellas Think, episode number 37. We got a lot going on this week. As you see, it's only two of us. Jeremy got kidnapped by aliens, I believe. So there's a lot of probing going on right now. But I'm your boy, Roy. You know, I try to be here as much as possible. I done missed a few shows. And who I got with me? I got my man Brandon. Brandon, what up, man?
Hey man, I'm the one with perfect attendance.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You
I
get
done
a
been to
gold
every
star.
episode.
You get extra chocolate milk at lunch, and you get the locker right next to the classroom. You overachieving motherfucker, you.
Hey, to our audience out there, I hope y'all entertained on this one. This may be a juicy.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun fact. This is gonna be a fun episode. It's gonna be surrounded a lot by hip hop this week. A lot going on in the hip hop world. We got to talk about Captain America. We got to talk about the All Star Game. And I haven't even talked to Brandon about it to know what his opinion is. So I'm looking forward for that. And as always, we'll stick a little something in there, but we always close it with the affirmations. But we can't get it started until I say this podcast is overseen by my man Roy Tiger Brown. Love you, bro. Let's get into it. A lot's been going on this week, and something that we want to, have to rearrange our format. We want to talk about these plane crashes. There was yet another crash in the world, and I don't know if it was two, but the one I know about was the Delta airline landing in Toronto,
Yeah.
upside down.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me get my jokes out the way, and it's not jokes. Usually, when I'm in a plane, I mean, as soon as we touch ground, I take my seatbelt off. And the first thing I thought about was, wow, if I'd have been in that plane, I'd have flipped the fuck out. So I got a trip coming up pretty soon, so we'll see what I do. It's to Miami, so what we're going to do? Crash land on sand? But no, seriously,
Man, you
I
better
take
knock on wood.
literally, I take my seatbelt off as soon as it touched ground, and I put my phone off of airplane mode. That it's a routine for me. So I would have been pretty fucked up. Luckily, nobody on the plane was hurt. I just wish there was camera video of people just like upside down and shit. And I'm not trying to make light of it because it's real serious now. Is two times is a coincidence. Three times it's like, what the fuck? Now we at number 6 and under 2 months. Ridiculous. What you think about that, Brandon?
Well, that's why I wanted to bring this topic up because it's crazy. They say flying in a plane crash is safer than driving in a car. And I'm like, it ain't looking that way now. I mean, it's literally 1 in 1 billion chance of your plane crash till we take off the ground. And of course, the social media influencers out there get these videos and they make jokes of it. I saw one that I won't mention the guy's name, but it was one where he's sitting near the window seat and he look and glance to the left, and then the wheel fall off as he's taking off. I'm like, I mean, of course we find the human in it, but luckily there are some people that have survived these incidents. I mean, you got Philly, you got Washington, you got Toronto, you got Alaska, you got over in I believe the other one was Japan or near Japan, or they're flying in
Yes.
some Asian country. But I'm just like, it's crazy to me. I don't understand it. And we were talking about this in prior episodes, how Die Hard 2 how they had the FAA system hacked, and then they were controlling flight patterns and everything. And then when you look it up, it's like this shouldn't happen. It's like it's too many people guarded. Like this plane is off. This is on this route. They're on this route. This stuff shouldn't be happening. And then for the landing gear to fail as you landing, this is like 1 in 1 million chance. It's crazy to me.
and
Thinking
flipping
like,
over at that. That's
yeah.
the biggie right there, flipping over.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like you said, fortunately nobody died from this crash, but it's you saying it's a one in a billion. They trying to play catch up, you know. And
I
I'm
do.
not making light of it, but yeah, it's a lot going on. And so with the FAA controllers, there's also the planes themselves. They run on software.
Mhm.
Now, is it wireless where people can find a signal and dial into it, or do they have to physically get on the plane, slide in that flash drive to wreak havoc on the plane itself? Are all of these, accidents, or have they been manipulated?
That's
You
what
know,
I'm
it,
like wondering. It's too many. Like before this year, we haven't even heard of a plane crash other than really 9/11. Like that's quite some time.
you
And
hear a
that was a
lot
hijack.
overseas. You hear reports a lot about overseas flights, uh, especially over water and not being found and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Uh,
planes disappearing, but not crashes like this.
right,
Like
right.
that's crazy. And to me, I really think about like people fly every day. Like millions of people fly every day. And you could really be like that unfortunate plane now. Because I mean, 6 in 2 months, that's a if we go to you go the entire year, that's 36 crashes
Well,
at that same rate.
as you walk down the street or as you get in your car, as you're driving in your car, there's planes flying above you. So it's likely you need to be driving and a plane falls on you. I mean, anything's possible. But I will
Yeah.
tell you this: when we started working together and our job involved travel,
Mhm.
one day I was on the plane and I was like, well, what if it crashed? And I'm just like, just bugging out. And I just like proverbially, figuratively slapped myself. And I just came to terms and said, you know what? You walked on this plane. Your life is in the hands of the pilot and the mechanics, basically, doing their job. So I've kind of embraced the death thing in planes. Matter of fact, I said, I'm not even going to cower down. I'm going to look. I want to get a view of what I'm about to hit. Because that's a once in a lifetime, once in a lifetime thing. I'm going to just
Yo,
go out with the gusto. You know what? It was just the way that they planned for, the big man planned for me to go out. At least I'm going to go out with a view. Maybe I might see something funny. I might get a quick chuckle in before, you know. But yeah, I seriously, I've come to terms with it and I embraced it and just like, you know what? I stepped on it voluntarily. It's not guaranteed that, I'm going to get off. It's not, I bought a ticket to go somewhere, but it's not guaranteed for me to get there. So
I ain't at that point of growth. I'm sorry. I still when that plane land, I be clenching that seat. Like you better, you better land correctly. As soon as that boom, that drop, I'm like, oh hell no, oh hell no.
turbulence
My
bothers me more than anything.
man, it's that drop to me. That land, that'd be the worst thing to me. I'd be like, because my thinking, my ultimate fear would be in these planes, we go all the way and we get to the destination, and at the very last moment, that motherfucker want to blow up. Like that'd be my fear. I'm
You
like,
know what? We kind of looking at the wrong thing because you know what? We could be driving and a stray bullet hit us. So you
true.
can't live your life in fears. At the end of the day, I just like I say, I just embraced it. It's like this is the way I was meant to go. I hope I got a window seat that I can just look. You know, but yeah. Uh, and I don't want to move on and say, and the man responsible for this, but
Might be a
but
bad omen.
right, but we have to, move on and talk about Donald Trump. They came out with a list of foods they want to, stop, you know, the SNAP or EBTs from purchasing certain items. And
Yes.
I saw a friend share that on Facebook, and not to make light of it, one of them said flavored potato chips. So my question was, so is plain old Ruffles okay? But so I laughed. But and also on that list, which surprised me, was like frozen vegetables, uh, like instant rice or something. I'm like, that sounds like almost like a bare minimum necessity to me. Why are you banning that? I can see cakes and ice cream and you know, I'll even go so far as to say shrimp. I mean, but I mean, food is food. But
Mm.
cakes and ice cream and buying with chips. Maybe yeah, you should cut that out. But again, it's just me repeating myself. This man is going to leave an impact. This is not even the first 3 months.
Yeah.
We're a month in, literally.
Mm.
We're a month in, and all this is going on.
My my
Uh,
thing my thing is with this food, like how you first of all, there are people we all know there are people out here that shouldn't be on staffs and they on staffs. But how you gonna gauge what food they should buy? Like
I
that's crazy
mean,
to me. Now if they out here doing whatever with the money and selling the food stamps and all that, that's the thing you shouldn't do. But you
I
can't
mean,
gauge. To me, you shouldn't be gauging what food they should buy because you don't know what's. I don't care if it's steak. Like I don't give a
I was
damn.
just going to go there.
I don't give a damn if it's steak. Like it's food for them to eat. They provide it, or well, not really provide it, but they using what you provide. So I don't. I was never one of those people like, oh, be in the grocery store. She got 2 carts of items and steak, lobster, all in it. And the jealous person to say that, be like, oh, well, I can't afford that, and I'm a taxpayer. Motherfucker, you ain't poor. like
Right.
you ain't poor though. Like poor, like people that make under $24,000 in an entire year, under $15,000 in an entire year. So that'd be my thing with that. Like a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, well, I pay taxes. Though. Why the hell I can't afford to eat steak?" Well, maybe you should be saving. Like,
I I I I agree with you. No, I totally agree with what you're saying that they shouldn't be gauged as to what they can purchase to eat.
yeah.
But they should be mindful that you know what you balling out, getting crabs and lobster and steak, and then you're not even 2 weeks in, and you done ran out, or like you said, you're selling.
Hmm. Yeah.
I would be mindful, and I'm not just saying top ramen. I'm not top ramen, but ramen noodles and shit like that. But how can
Well,
you really gauge? But at the same time, the recipient should be mindful of what they're purchasing.
yeah, I think and that's a it speaks to a bigger problem in our culture though. We don't we don't know the value of things. Like we look for the flash of and whether it's food, whether it's clothes or everything. Oh, I got on Gucci belt or Gucci shoes, but I'm on the bus. That's that's the mentality some of us have out here. They look
Right.
like us, and that's the
Same.
sad part about it. We out here, you know, trying to make it just like everybody else, but you should
I'm
still
just
know the
having
value
all
of
type of
things.
issues. I'm sorry. I didn't know my camera wasn't on.
Are you good?
Let me
You
let me fix this here. There we go.
good? Roy over there stirring up macaroni, y'all. If you hear any weird sounds, I will mute his mic. That's all.
Oh wow. No, so it's doing something crazy right now.
Mm.
It's like da I'm back everybody. Yeah, it's where and it's only gonna get worse.
Mm.
Uh the people he's appointing to these chairs uh have no experience behind the seats that they're holding. and he's putting his buddies in. Gentleman that they just appointed to the head of the FBI, I believe, has no background whatsoever to really hold that spot. And the sad part about it, he can nominate them. That's one thing, but they're being confirmed.
Yeah, yeah.
They're co-signing. They're like, yeah, okay, for sure. That's just like me being, secretary of I don't know something I don't know about, but trying to bark orders. It makes no sense. And at the end of the day, we pride ourselves, being the free country, being the superpower and everything. But it's things like this that's chipping away at the armor of the United States. And one day we're not going to be that superpower no more. And we're going to hope that our allies are still our allies and not, they're not our friends right now because we giving them money, saying,
Well, my thing with the people he's appointed, it speaks back to that DEI thing they always talk about being the race and not qualified. Well, these people ain't qualified, but I feel like he's putting people in place that he can control in a sense.
oh, definitely.
That's what that's what I feel like. But they it's not going to be viewed that way. Oh, he's qualified. They're going to say, oh, he's qualified. They're going to beat you to you blue in the face where he's qualified, knowing damn well he's not qualified. That's why I feel like it's a lot of grandstanding that goes on, even with this Black Month, Black History event that went on.
Oh,
He's talking he's talking about the garden that's going to be built in July 4th, 2026, basically to show American heroes. He's going to have a statue for Kobe Bryant, a statue for Muhammad Ali in this center that he
and Tiger
built.
Woods.
Yeah, the heroes basically is what he's calling it. But I feel like
Those are not
I
really
don't think it's genuine.
heroes.
I don't think it's genuine.
No, I don't think it's genuine neither. Because
Mm,
where's the Martin Luther Kings? Where's the Malcolm X's?
exactly.
Where's Frederick Douglass, Rosa Parks? Well, I won't say Rosa Parks. She just refused to get up. She's not a icon. No, no, I'm serious. She's not an icon. And you know what? To not get distracted, the only reason, and I heard that, you know, they say she kicked it off. She was a secretary for the NAACP, and actually, in fact, there had been other occurrences of women or black men refusing to get out the seat, but she just made waves because she was affiliated. She was in the clique, so to say. But I'm gonna
Well,
digress on that. I don't want to. You can say your piece, but I don't want to dive too deep into that.
well, I'll just say this though. She did lead marches after that.
Yeah,
She did. She
she
did
was
put in some work. She did
she
put in some
oh
work after that.
she was a figurehead after that. Of course, she
Yeah.
had to do that. But no, so I mean, where the real heroes, dribbling the ball and swinging a golf club and punching somebody out, and those are not heroes. Those are sports icons, yeah. But if it's going to be a garden of heroes, there should at least be Martin Luther King.
I agree with that, but Muhammad Ali did a lot more than just punch people out, though. I mean, what he stood
Yeah,
for was bigger
but
than boxing.
me and you know that, but
Mm.
everybody else, they just, oh, the boxer guy, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
get your point on that.
So I mean, and that he's like the boxer guy, you know. But yeah, Muhammad Ali, he stood his ground on a lot of issues. I do agree with that, especially about not going to fight, in the war. You know, lost his title behind it and won it back.
Mhm. My favorite line is that you want me to fight fight them and be their oppressor. You my oppressor. when I want when I want freedom, you stopping me. I forget the whole quote, but that was one of my favorite lines. I love it.
No, you was
Love
channeling a little Muhammad Ali too.
it.
I am the greatest. Yes. But no, I mean, and again, I'm not going to beat this dead horse. We got 4 years, and this gentleman's going to give us enough material to discuss, week to week. So I want to kind of go into our theme for this week.
Well,
Uh,
before you do it, real quick, I got one more question.
yes.
Do you think he was being it's a political ploy to give us these $5,000 checks?
You know what? At the end of the day, you know what? They're not. They. You still got to claim it on your taxes, and I ain't gonna turn down no money. I mean, man, turn down. I ain't turning down my collar for nothing. I'll take it. Um, it and it actually, I'm not gonna sit there and condemn the man, but I think I kind of see where he's going with this. With the layoffs, it's like it's too many people. When you have a group of people, a huge crowd of people, you can pass the buck around. But when you're in a tight knit group, again, and I reference the job, our former occupation or former employment, you couldn't hide because everybody knew what Elroy did, everybody knew what Brandon did, and if it needed to be done, I'm looking for Elroy or Brandon, and there's nobody you can pass it along to. So hopefully, and I'm trying to get a guy the benefit of the doubt, is to make people more accountable. I mean, we got people their plan is just they're just riding it out to retirement and don't and putting in the bare minimum of what they're supposed to do. So maybe by sort of cleaning house, he's trying to make people more accountable. Like, we're in an office of 10 people in this branch office. I want to see some production. I want to see, you doing your audits or doing whatever you're supposed to do.
Mhm.
That's just me hoping. Maybe he has, maybe there's all other ulterior motives. I don't know. Hope not. I hope I'm right, making people more accountable. And those people just skating, I can see close to retirement and you come in and you do your share of work. But then you got those people that come in, they're so conditioned to not give you much that you don't expect much. So those are the people that should be let go.
Well,
If you really value your job and you're really trying to secure that nest egg, you come in, you do your work.
I think it's good if it's true what they're saying. Because like if they're sending money to Gaza for um, condoms, like there's no reason you should be doing that. There's no
No.
reason you should be playing for a hotel if it's true what they say. Because really, there's been no evidence. It's just accusations. That's what
So
I hear. That's
so
what I'm
it
seeing.
might be accusations about the condoms, but
Yeah,
it's a known fact that we give foreign aid on the regular, like clockwork. It's like almost like welfare to them that we give them millions of dollars at a given period of time.
yeah,
I say we stop. Stop trying to be everybody's buddy. Take care of here, take care of our infrastructures. Let's build us up first before we help us. What do they tell you on the airplane? In case of emergency, if your air mask falls off, put your mask on first before you help anybody else. What
mm,
good are you if you're not capable and strong? And that's actually part of my affirmation later on this evening. But yeah, let's take care of us first. There's people that live out on these tents. They call them tent cities that
mm.
have skills that can contribute to the world. They just fell on hard times, whether it was drug addiction or, the place they were staying in burnt down and they didn't have no insurance or whatever. You can't get a job unless you have an address. If you don't have an address to report to, they don't hire you. So some of these people out here, all they need is an address. And
Well, one thing you learn from that, and I hope the world learns from that, is they can help you. They just don't care. When immigrants came here, they got help immediately. But homeless people been here 20, 30, 40 years, still homeless.
no, that's
Ain't got no
true.
they
And
and
I'm not taking shots, but when the Venezuelans started migrating in, they were getting social workers, they were getting on welfare just immediately. They was giving like cash stipends to like each individual or whatever, just like they're at the club, you
Mm.
know.
But that's my thing too. Is if this administration says they care, don't do the same thing that the past one did. Then, if you say you care, do it. Because it's to me, it's a lot of grandstanding. That's why I say they're giving out all these accusations, money being spent here, money being spent there. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Because it's still homeless people. It's still people who, like they say in Atlanta, that ain't reading at their grade level. What are you doing? You just disbanding board of
They
education
passing
and
them
all that.
along.
Yeah.
They passing them
So that's my
along.
thing. That's
So it's
my thing.
like, okay, you're 18 years old, get the hell out. Either go to jail or go to the military. We got a bed waiting for you somewhere. They don't care that no child left behind thing. I was just talking about that a couple of days ago. I think that's ridiculous that they do that. But some of that money that we're funneling out to these countries on the regular, let's build shelters to rehabilitate these people that just want a chance. They don't want a second chance. Maybe it was mental illness. They get the right treatment, put on the right meds. They back to themselves. Let's take care. See, I always thought I had this. I don't. It's not a fantasy. It's just a thought that if I came into like some real money, I would buy like let's say a large building similar to the one that's on the corner of Ashland and 87th, that big warehouse thingy. You know what I'm talking about? Next street
Oh,
over,
87,
or 88th. No,
88,
Ashland. So if you
88.
walk
Man.
towards Ashland, there's that big building, big
Oh, the storage
41,000.
unit.
Yeah, before it
Oh,
used to be an office center.
yeah. Okay. Okay. I
You
got
take
you. I
something
got you.
like that and you screen people. Like you come in, you screen them. You're like, okay, he's wearing these rags. It could be infested with, whatever. Let's get him out of these clothes. Let's burn them. Let's put him in some clothes. Next, let's take him into the next room. We screen him. Take blood. Give a full exam. Okay, you got a couple of cavities. Oh man, he's got something. He's got hepatitis or whatever. Okay, but that can be treated. You clean them up, and then you start, taking them through rehabilitation classes, and they get out there. They get, schooling or whatever. They have little, and this is my little fantasy world. They have cots, like a men's section, a women's section, and they get out there, and then they're ready to interview. And let's say they get a job. Okay, I'm gonna give you a year to stay here, save up your money, and then you're capable of going back out on your own. I think that's doable, that's possible, and it would be productive to society.
That's man. That's a great idea, actually. But imagine, and I think Wallow was saying this from Wallow and Gilly. He was saying that a lot of people criticize and they say all this stuff about black people or the society in general, but you don't have the resources. Imagine if you had the resources to truly help. And there are people out there with resources that are able to do what you just said.
And
Because
and and
there
there's
are 20,
infrastructure too. There's
yeah,
there's there's abandoned buildings just sitting there, just condemned, that could be rehab. Some of these people you take in probably have carpentry skills. They can help, fix things up, kind of get their mojo back. And there's endless possibilities when you give somebody a chance.
there are there are 22 black billionaires in this world, which is still 1% of the wealth, but that's another discussion. But none of them really do that outside of people like LeBron, Jay-Z. People have those similar things, but all these billionaires out here ain't none of them really doing that, and they can do that because they have the resources. Granted, they're 1% of the wealth, but they have a good, vast wealth.
Well,
Billionaire.
and Ti did it also. He built low income housing for people, to stay in the Atlanta area. But
I'm talking about billionaires. I'm talking about with people with a lot of resources.
No, I'm talking about just people below billionaires. That's
Mm,
actually doing something. You know,
yeah.
I'm hearing a lot of rappers building these low income housing for people to go. Yeah, and on that note, I just want to let you. This is a formal notice to anybody that's staying in Ti's building. The fact that that $77 million lawsuit got dropped, your rent's going up. Just wanted to let you know. Just want to let you know. You know, as soon as he got that first lawsuit decision, 77 million, he's like, I ain't performing no more. I ain't sweating for nobody. But now, he'll be at your local Chuck E. Cheese if you have to, because they took a big chunk of that money back. And again, I still say, how much was he gonna give them girls who was based around the lawsuit? Yeah, he filed the lawsuit. How much of that 77 million was he gonna give them? That's what I want to know. How much was you gonna give up to Rubber Band Man? you know, who I'm is. And it's funny because that's kind of segue into our big focus this weekend or this show is what's been going on in hip hop. There's a lot going on in hip hop, and I purposely put it in a certain order from dumb shit to victories or it being somber and you're showing tribute. So the first one I'm going to start out with is the game. Now, Game had a reality show where it was like a dating reality show, and it was actually here in Chicago. They filmed much of it in Chicago. So I say allegedly, but even though they passed the decision, he was allegedly accused of sexual assault of one of the contestants. This is where I
Priscilla
had a
Rainey.
problem. This is what I have a problem with.
Mm.
Yep, Priscilla Rainey. That's right up there on my notes. Why go for a civil suit instead of a criminal suit? That I mean, educate me and answer me because a lot of people go, they're assaulted, they go for the civil suit as opposed to. I think if I was a woman, I would rather see that motherfucker rot in jail. That's
Well,
what I think.
just my opinion, I think like for her in her instance, she was trying to get parts of his royalty, his record label, and in his house. So
So
I think
originally there was a fixed dollar amount that the
mm,
judge handed down. The game
seven
throughout
point
this
one
time,
million.
game throughout this time has been doing stuff to avoid having to pay her.
Mm.
That's one. That's why he's not with a major record label. Um, yeah, he has been putting out albums, but I think somehow he's been skating around again paying. So we're talking like more than 10 years that
Mm.
this has been been handed down. So now they're looking at trying to confiscate his home to get payment. And at the end of the day, the decision has been made in the court of law. The game probably screwed himself over. He probably could have made that money back. Losing your home, that's a whole different thing. I don't see how you're gonna fight that. I mean, I'm gonna put it in my son's name, but no, we're still taking it from you. We're still taking it. Uh, he should have paid out. He could have easily made the money touring, and he puts out hot content. He would have easily made that money back legitly. He probably would be sitting on more with streaming and everything going on right now. So this is just me on the outside looking in. We call it the armchair quarterback. This is what I would have did. I would have accepted the fate and just paid up. But again, I question her motives going for a civil suit as opposed to a criminal suit.
Well, I think money is gonna hurt him far more than a criminal suit. I think, just my opinion, because I feel
We
like,
both we,
and
we
but
don't bo- we don't both have to be right.
no, I'm just saying, but 7.1 million, he could have paid that out. He's worth 25 million. That's his net worth. He could have paid that out, made that money back, been done with this situation.
Yeah.
Now it's like dragging it on, becoming more of a nuisance to him. So that's just poor planning by him. It's just becoming more and more of a nuisance. It's gonna keep lingering on, and you like, damn, I'm not gonna deal with this problem. It's like putting the problem off to the side. Like I'm not gonna deal with it. It's still there, but you're not gonna deal with it. It don't work like that. It's
Problems do
gonna
not go away. You might not see them, but they're still lurking.
be
And I want to give several examples based on my life experiences as to, I'm not comparing myself to Gain. That's 7.1 million. But my first credit card, all I knew was I was giving credit. The thought of concept of me having to pay it back, it really didn't. I mean, I knew I had to, but it was just like ching ching, $2,000. I don't know if you ever seen that movie Mo Money with Marlon Wayans, Damon Wayans, one of my favorite movies. But I didn't know what to do with that 2000. I was balling. I was balling until that bill came. And the same thing I did with my school loans. I kept deferring them.
Mm,
I kept just pushing, and I told I am a living example of what you should not do. I told my nephew, I said, pay them bills. There's I think there's a ladder in life.
mm.
You go through school and everything. You try to figure out where you want to do in life. By your 30s, you're into it and you're really pounding hard. 40, you should really start seeing results, and from there, the sky's the limit. But yeah, I don't know what's the limit for game. He gonna be out there. He gonna be back on that what's that reality show he was on back in the day before he was big. Uh, where they choose to stay together or choose to break up. I
Blind
forgot
date,
the.
blind date.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't blind date. It was like hey, we're together, but we're having issues. So I'm gonna go on a date, and you're gonna go on a date,
Well,
and then they come back.
they
But
showed up. We going
that's not blind date.
let me. I have to show you, but
Blind date is literally blind date. It's people that don't know each other and they be putting those little funny little thought bubbles up on their head and shit. But he was like in a studio audience, in a studio. Like I said, he went out on the date with somebody else. She went out on a date with somebody else. And then they say what they like about or dislike about their dates. But then they come back and then they decide, are they going to stay together or are they going to move on? Come on now, that's on the tip of my tongue. It ain't blind date, bro. Hey, Google what game show was Game on before he was famous.
let's see. Let's see.
I know for our viewers, they probably like, it's the shoe. And I can see it too. There's nothing wrong with your audio, folks. This is a moment of silence. Trying to figure this shit out about the game.
Let me see. I don't think.
Oh, come on now. You usually the mad texter. Look, here, let me get it. What game show was the game rapper on before he was famous?
Oh, change the heart.
Change your heart. There you go. I knew it was gonna be something simple as this. Yeah, change your heart, folks. And you probably been yelling out there, yelling, change your heart. But anywho, I forgot where we were going with that. But anyway, now he's stuck and he might be homeless. They're thinking about putting his home on the auction block. That's a and not that she would get the house. They're gonna put the house on auction, whatever it sells for. Let's say it sells for exactly 7.1 million. She gets that, and he gets dick. But if he gets sell it for 10 million, he'll get the 2.9 or whatever. But yeah, you could have put this problem to rest a whole lot sooner. I think my opinion, and like everybody else, I have an opinion. I think you're making it a whole lot worse for yourself.
exactly. We agreed on something. We agreed.
Yeah. So it's funny because he's actually in my playlist this week. I've been listening to some of the game music. Oh, what a coinky dink. Let's talk about Lil Durk trial
Mhm.
status. Do you know the latest about his trial? It's supposed to start in March or May, right? I
They
know it
delayed
got
it
pushed
to
back to November. Yeah, they later
October
this year.
uh, October 21st. They delayed it. It's basically for both the defense and the attorney general to repair. Basically, prosecutors to repair. So they needed more
Right.
time. They both agreed to this. So it's basically, to me, the way it's looking though, it's an issue with the evidence. So it
There's
may
cracks
be
in the
a
case.
yeah,
Hmm.
it may be a way for him to come home. I don't know, but
And
hopefully,
they definitely got to discredit that witness.
yeah. But that's the thing too. I always, and it maybe we'll talk about this further down the show. There's supposedly a guy that's snitched on him or informant. I always wonder, how do people get a hold of paperwork that's supposed to be heavily redacted, like it's protected?
That's exactly. I agree with
I
that.
don't understand
It's just like, okay, you go into the I'm an informant line at
it. Yeah,
informant.com, but I mean, it's like damn near like public record that they're informants.
yeah. So that's why I don't understand. And I know we ain't talking about this, but how does how does people like the Whack 100 get a hold of paperwork that shows Big Meech is a rat?
Right.
Or that, because that creates a safety concern. And actually, if you Google, it's illegal to have that document because it's supposed to be protected information. If you have that document, depending on how you obtained it, you could actually go to jail. So that's like
Shit.
it's committing a crime.
If it's up on a website, then they should go after the person running the website.
Yeah, that's crazy that people have this paperwork. But
I'm sure we're making it sound like the witness protection program. You can just Google, hey,
yeah,
what's Jerry Butler's fake name now, and where is he at? You know.
but I'm just saying, because celebrities are making it look like, oh, these rappers out here are making it look like it's that easy to have this paperwork, and it's not illegal to have this paperwork. It's illegal. You can't have this paperwork. So,
You
but
know
back
somebody
to
that knows somebody.
but back to this question with Lil Durk. I just hope this is a wake up call to him, to move differently, you know, not to be so heavily in the streets because he means a lot to the city of Chicago.
Yeah, he
Means a lot to the
does.
city of Chicago,
Uh, a lot
just
of
like D
people that
Rose does.
like a lot of people praised him and stood behind him. But
Mm,
if he was to ever be let go, I don't. I think people would still be skeptical to associate themselves with him.
mm,
Being the ones once Chicago suburb gave him a key to the city, ain't nobody giving him no key to the city no more. Even if he's found not guilty, they're gonna be okay. He might have been found not guilty, but we know he did it. It's one of
mm,
those type of things. Uh, I hope he can bounce back, but he should still be able to reach the targeted audience, and that's the people on the streets to talk to them. But yeah, hell with these sponsors and Key to the City and Little Dirk Day and shit like that. It might it's like that fruit stripe gum. It loses its flavor real quick. Oh, here's a key to the city. Like, all right, cool. All right. Now it's just a paperweight or whatever, something or a coaster or whatever. Is uh yeah, I hope if he gets out that he really opens his eyes to this and really move away from the violent nature. And
mm.
not everybody's going to understand allegedly, retaliating for the death of King Von. That's allegedly, but not many people understand, love and loyalty and what you would do in some person's honor. Now, we don't have a right to be taking lives, but if you rob some old lady and that turned out to be somebody, our best friend, my best friend grandmother, and he going to look for him, I'm gonna help look for him. Yeah, I'm gonna put in the work too. We'll see what happens. Only time will tell. But then we start, I don't know how should I do this? Should I? Okay, I'm gonna go to the idiotic news. Let's talk about that rapper that in Detroit that is currently suing Lyft for refusing to allow her into the ride. How, first of all, I'm sure if you haven't seen the video, please go on YouTube and Google it. It's on there. You'll see it and you'll make your own opinion. And I'm almost positive you'll be thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Ain't no way in hell would I have let her into my car that big, her big self. And she talking about she could, no, really, I can fit in there. And the next thing you know, she'd be like, "Can't you scoot your chair up? Because that's how small it was. Move your chair up. Well, at least move this side up so I can." She should have knew. She knew
I
she should have
think
ordered an SUV.
for yeah, she should have. But for the people that don't know, her name is Deja D Moss. That's a rap. That's a but and if you want to look up a funny clip, she was definitely on the Breakfast Club, and they gave her a whole section on for the city. That was crazy to me, and she was catching shade or shots all throughout the interview. She just didn't catch it. I don't know. She didn't care
So
to catch
let's expand on that a little bit. She comes in for the interview, and
it.
sitting there for her, waiting for her, is like a bar stool type chair with a back. She looked at it and said, "Hey, you ain't got nothing bigger." That should be evidence in when they go to trial. They should show that clip. You got something bigger, and like you said, they gave her a goddamn sectional that she got from Aaron Brothers and some shit.
Mm. And, and I just want to say I got a opening statement for her lawyers when they go to court, and this is what they should use. The car might tilt, the tires may groan, but her confidence stands firm like a throne, like a at the
He getting his Nipsey Russell, not Hustle, Nipsey Russell from the '70s on. But yeah,
or or they can use the catchphrase "big and bold and built to roll." But yeah, I just want to throw that out there
or
for a
or
lawyer.
or
Y'all use that.
or channeling my OJ. If you can't fit, bitch, quit it. I'm sorry if I offended any bitches out there. No, seriously. But no, seriously. So let's talk more about her. Then they showed a video of her standing, basically halfway in, halfway out of SUV, and it was like almost a perfect fit for her, as opposed to this Geo Metro that she was trying to get into. Then some funny shit too. They had a video of her performing, and she was trying to twerk, and she fell on her back.
Yeah, yeah. I always think, man. You know what you can't do. Like as a been around that big, as she say, she been that big since she was, a kid or a young teenager. But I'm like, come on now, the health and any rapper out. There's another rapper out here with the purple drink in the cup, dude.
I know you're talking about. He,
He
he
been in the
sits down at
hospital.
every show,
He been in the hospital over 6 times already, and we ain't even 2 months into the year. And I'm like, come on, dude.
and he only got a single. I ain't heard
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
he
like,
sits he sits in a couch at his shows with
hmm.
an oxygen mask.
And by the way, I just want to say it to our audience out there. We ain't fat shaming or doing none of that. Everybody's beautiful, but take care of yourself.
I
These
used
two
I used to be
individuals.
I used to be 317 pounds, so I'm a former fat guy.
Take care of yourselves. That's the whole thing. These two individuals are not doing that, and they seem delusional to their inability. So I'm like,
No,
I
it's
don't
funny,
understand.
and I didn't have this plan, but I just happened to see it last night. Lizzo has
Mm.
lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Take care of yourself. Like she taking care of herself.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
she
I
ain't gotta
mean,
look. She ain't gotta look like skinny Tyra Banks or nothing like that. No, that's she's taking care of herself. She looks healthy. That's the thing.
It just, when I saw these two individuals that we're speaking about now, it's just like, you know what? About 2 months from now, I'm going to be reading that they died from a heart attack.
I don't wish that on nobody, so I'm gonna just knock on wood. But
No, I don't,
I
no, I
hope
don't wish
not.
that on nobody neither. I mean,
Mm,
but dude is literally sitting there in his couch because he can't walk the stage with an oxygen tank. Oxygen mask over his nose while he's performing. That ain't no gimmick.
mm,
That's pitiful and sad. I hope he turn into one of those success stories where he gets healthy. There's nothing healthy about, again, not fat shaming. There's nothing healthy about the condition that he's in right now. If he
mm.
requires an oxygen mask,
And I don't even think. I mean, I don't know exactly his age, but I don't even think that man over 30,
I
which
know
is
I don't
sad.
think so neither. I don't think so neither.
That's sad.
So in better news, things are looking more uplifting. We had ASAP Rocky get acquitted from felony assault, was it?
Yeah,
Story
with a
was,
firearm.
yes, with a firearm. Story was he allegedly shot one of his crew members, the ASAP mob, one of his ASAP whoever. Uh,
Really, ASAP Rally.
and it's been a long trial. It's back and forth. I mean, his lawyer was trying to get a little gangster with the prosecutor. I thought that was real amusing. But in the long run, ASAP, he was acquitted. And again, I hope that's somebody that's like can say they dodged a bullet.
Well, hey, I hope. I don't know if people seen his reaction from the verdict, but jumping over there, the happiness that he exuded or showed, that is crazy. Like if you've never had that moment in your life, that is the happiness you want to experience. Because that man did a full nosedive into Rihanna
Right.
arms.
And so that's where I was going with this.
Mm,
He has to look at this as a lesson, like, I don't want to say he got off because he did it but didn't get convicted. He has a second chance. Let's say that,
mm,
and he sees what he has to lose. He has, I believe, they have another child on the way.
yeah.
You got Rihanna. You got a lot to lose, bro. You got to forget. It's just like, when those like when NBA ball players, they make it big, they still want to hang in the hood. You can't hang in the hood. You got a lot to lose. You need to stay away from the hood. I ain't saying stay away from your friends. Stay away from the hood. Bring them to you. But
But you see, he was facing 24 years for that if
right,
he got convicted. So definitely a lot to lose there.
I mean, because Rihanna would have lost interest after 2 months. That's how long it takes when they go in. 2 months, boom, they on the. No, I'm not saying that, but I don't think she would have waited 24 years. Uh,
Hey, Gucci Man wife waited six.
you know what? I'm the one to call it like it is. Now here's my thing. Yeah, when Gucci Man was going into jail, he gave her his last $2 million. She flipped it to 6 or 7. That doesn't mean she wasn't messing around on the side. Yeah, she was down for a man, but she still had needs. I mean, right now we could say it's 50-50 odds that she did mess around and she was faithful. But
Well, they was married though, and there is conjugal visits that probably went on. So,
but when the cat's away, the mice will play. I mean, and really, okay, conjugal visits. It's something set up by the prison system to allow you to have sex. That okay, I don't know that. All right, I don't think that should be a luxury of being in prison. There shouldn't be conjugal visits. That's just my opinion. But
I
who's to
mean,
say?
you got to
Who's
get
to
the
say?
rocks off.
Who's to? They do with their hand, fistolina. You know. You're going to jail for such and such, but we're going to allow you to have occasional sex. It's the least we can do. That's bullshit to me. Um, But who's to say, she wasn't feeling lonely one night and somebody been giving her attention and she gave him a shot. She didn't fall in love with him, but she wanted to feel some meat. So we can't say for 100% that she was faithful. No, she took care of the money. That we can definitely agree. She took care of the money. I mean, some people would have been like, all I got is $2 million to live off on. Here she was, and she flipped it. So yeah, she is a rider, she is a soldier, but that don't mean she couldn't have been, out on some straight while he was in jail. 24 years. Like I say, I hope he realizes what he could have lost, what he could have. So, and the reason I say that, there's this thing on Instagram I just found, and I'm kind of addicted to it. It's like they'll put up one person, and they will put up the history of who they've dated throughout their career, and I'm like really addicted to it. I saw Jennifer Lopez and Tiana Taylor. I'm like, you damn sluts. But anyway,
I know
I,
Jennifer Lopez list is long.
Jennifer Lopez, yes, she
That's a
has a list,
long list.
and it's only not Barrio Billy who she used to bang back in the day. It's like once she got of status that she was J Lo, everybody since then. That's who they count. They don't count, before you were big. They count after you were famous. So I'm actually waiting to see Rihanna's list.
I don't
And
think
then
hers
they
is
even
long.
they even label them. They say partner. And man, some of the we'll talk about this all because it'll come off it'll come off misogynistic, and I'm not trying to go there, but yeah, we'll talk
I
about it.
bet you was gonna say Flavor Flav on that list.
So next week I'm going to share the name of that page on Instagram that shows and they do it for men too. They go through the history of their day life after they were famous. But it's real amusing to see. But yeah, he would have lost a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, she'd have probably got married to somebody, and then he'd be getting the $1 billion business. Once she passed on. Yeah, they said Rocky like this is my retirement plan. Fuck Rock.
I, I'm just glad to see, freedom. That's good for him. His life is great. He's about to have another baby. Amazing woman, very savvy, you know, very good businesswoman and a woman overall. She's amazing. So,
Yeah,
so
but you got to
re-
be careful of that guy. He shoot his friend allegedly.
well, ex friend.
Ex friend, yeah, ex
Yeah.
friend, yeah. I just
Yeah.
know I don't. You say you celebrating freedom, okay, and I respect that, but I guess I'm more, really into the meat and bones of it. It's just like if he did it, that motherfucker got off. I want to celebrate right or wrong. Did he do it? Then he should have been found guilty. And I'm not hating it, but come on now, let's be real. Don't be an ASAP Rocky fan. Be a common sense fan. If he did
No,
it, he should be serving his time for what he did.
well, according to the evidence, he wasn't even there. So, well, according to the defense team, I'm sorry.
Of course, like,
Yeah, he wasn't even there. But my thing is, though, we don't know the real details of why that was even done. His life could have been in
exactly.
danger and all that. So we don't know. But right now, I'm glad to see he's free. He's able to move on with his career because this did put his career on pause, fighting for his life. And even told,
His
even
career is keeping a smile on Rihanna's face. He ain't got to drop another bar in his life if he don't have to.
well, he's
Uh-huh.
still a man and an artist. So every man want to make for himself. But
Then you might have that
that's
lazy motherfucker. I'm not feeling inspired. He's in all his luxury provided by her. I'm not inspired, baby. I just ain't feeling it right now.
but ASAP Rocky, glad to see he's free, living a great life.
Yeah.
Hats to
Oh,
him.
for sure.
Hats to him.
And as we move on in the legal world, Jay Z wins his uh, uh, squashed the lawsuit before it happened because it never really happened, where they
Mhm.
found out that Jane Doe was just full of shit.
And what's crazy is we're never gonna know who she was. We're never gonna know her face. And she accused him of the most one of the most heinous crimes, and still she just walks away scot free. And that's the thing. But his, whether you believe he did it or not, his image is going to be
Oh
tarnished
yeah,
in
of the
some way.
thought that he may have
Yeah,
done it
yeah.
or capable of doing it.
It's going to be
But
tarnished in some way, and she gets to walk away scot free. That's what I don't like, because there are real victims out here that have been sexually assaulted. So you shouldn't play around just for that money card.
bruh,
And that's that thing.
as we record this podcast and we put it out onto the internet, I'm saying this, I'm putting it out there. We will find out who Jane Doe's real name is. Cause she done talked to a couple of people. Yeah, I'm suing Jay-Z. I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. They go, man, that's the bitch that tried to sue Jay-Z. Her name's gonna get out. Watch.
Mm.
We're gonna have this as a reference. Well, no, we're gonna have an episode called "I Told You So." Her
I
name
think
is
they
gonna
should.
get out.
I think they should get the other person that was trying, talking about she had stuff on Beyonce too. All of them, all of them.
Well,
Because
I
it's
have
just
yet to
like,
go forward with what happened with me, Beyonce, and Jay Z. I'm really not feeling it, and I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to talk about it because it never happened.
you know what that remind me of? And it's a side note, but the Family Guy, the old man that was trying to violate Chris, and
Why? You saying I sound like the pervert old man?
no, no,
Oh,
no, no. I'm just saying, uh, the dog. Thoughts of the dog,
oh,
because the
oh.
dog was that we never knew why the dog couldn't walk in his family, but we
His
had an
legs was dragging.
assumption.
I never thought about that. And yet he was
we
still loyal.
we
He was
had
always by his
assumption.
side.
We had assumption.
So kind of back it up. I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't care about the beehive. You don't scare me. Boo. I never found Beyonce attractive.
Oh,
I
you crazy?
honestly never did.
You crazy? You crazy?
It was just something to me that just said, stuck up bitch. Really, it did. Beehive, I ain't
Even
scared of you.
even when they were in the group and they were like 21-year-olds, 18-year-olds, you didn't think she was attractive in it? Man,
And
you
I'm not,
crazy.
and at the same time, I'm not saying she's ugly. I'm just saying she doesn't appeal to me. If that
Okay.
if that if that clears things up and makes a whole lot of sense, no, she Beyonce never did nothing for me. I never said, "Ooh, let me go smack on Beyonce." No, it was Holly Berry. It was old ass, old ass Sade. I hit on her before I hit on Beyonce, and I'm just being real. Again, this is not a character. I'm not saying stuff for shock value. It's just my preference. It's what fella thinks. That's actually that's actually my childhood nickname. So fella. So people that know me they call me fella. So it's what fella thinks. But I'm happy. The truth came out. I think there was something along the lines where she tried to pull her father into the scheme somewhat, saying
Mhm.
that he dropped her off at some
Yeah.
party or whatever, and he was like, I don't remember that. You think you would have got your story together before you, hey, Dad, you remember when you dropped me off at that party and you write a dollar figure up on the chalkboard and shit? You know, get your shit together. If you gonna
Hey,
lie and bring somebody in it, rehearse that shit. Get on the same page.
hey, and to the beehive out there, Roy prefers Leslie Jones instead of no. Let's stop.
No, I think the beehive is one thing a cult. And I think they're a bunch of bullies because if somebody speaks out against her, they really go hard. I mean, basically that's bullying. Is she your cult leader? Have you drunk, her bath water? That you got to ride like that. Ain't you know what? I ride for Jesus. There you go. I'm with the J Hive. That's what. Say something bad about my nigga, hey, my man Jesus. No, but seriously, that's how they follow her, like she's God, and
Mhm.
that makes me
True.
think less of her when you put somebody up on a pedestal like that.
But you gotta say the same thing about Taylor Swift then.
Okay, Taylor Swift too. The I don't know what they call her little clique, but yeah, the Beehive, fuck them, fuck y'all. Like and subscribe.
Leslie Jones, huh? Leslie Jones. Let me stop. Let me
so moving on. Now everybody knows I have a crush on Leslie Jones from Saturday Night Live.
stop.
Moving on and more somber news. We know I don't know if we talked about it, but everybody's aware of the passing of the hip hop, and I won't call him an icon, but he was a mega mind. He brought us DMX. He brought us Ja Rule. He brought us, he took Ashanti to that next level. Irv
Mhm.
Gotti. Irv Gotti passed away at the age of 54 due to complications from diabetes. You know, uh, and on a side note, I am a diabetic too. And when I wonder is like, we had Biz Markie, we had a Fife from a tribe called Quest. There was a famous DJ in Chicago, Doug Banks. They all died from issues with diabetes. And I wonder is like, what am I doing right or what am I doing wrong? And I'm not taking care of myself. But then I learned that even though being a diabetic, Fife Dog, he loved sweets and he couldn't stop eating sweets. Same thing with Doug Banks. I hear he just couldn't stop with the sweets and he wasn't taking his medication. So fortunately for me, I will continue to take my medication and I will be mindful of what I eat. I want to be around, but uh, yeah, amongst other things, the diabetes can cause a stroke, and he had two strokes. 54 is young, if you ask me.
Yes, it is.
And in the recent, years, we had Bismarck, we had DMX. That's who I can only think of off the top of my head, where they had services that were televised, or it was a grand showcase, so to say. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but the family of Irv Gotti chose to have a private ceremony. And I think it would have been something nice to see something televised, put together a memorial for, especially his contributions in the music world. Not only just the music world, I applaud him for being indicted by the federal government and beating them just because of the people that he associated with. They tried to, put a RICO case on him and destroy his business. And even after he was found not guilty, he really didn't bounce back well in the record industry, so to say. But he did go on to doing a lot of production. And one of the great things that he did that I was a big fan of, he had a show on BET called Tales. And there were one-off stories, meaning each one just was a single story, no continuation. It's just a different story, a different story, a different story, and a different story. And it always had the title of an iconic hip hop song. And so they would make a play off of that hip hop song and they write a story behind it. He had 3 seasons of that and I loved it. I was just always on the edge of my toes waiting for the next season of Tales to come so I can watch it. It was a great story. So he did a lot for the hip hop community. His biggest L, I would say, was being associated to Ja Rule, doing him the Ja Rule 50 Cent beef. That I mean, he had to ride for him and ride with him, but that was a one hitter quitter if you ask me. That whole beef.
Nah, I don't think that. That was until it was really an okay battle. And I'll just say that this, they were like this for a minute until everybody else got involved. Like for a minute they were like this. And then when everybody else got involved, Dre, D12, and everybody else got involved, Black, then it became a landslide.
Well, he well, first of all, you fucking with the crew. So yeah, they gonna go at you. So so Ja Rule went after 50. I mean Eminem, who's 50's boy, he was like, your mother's a crackhead and Kim is a known slut. I wonder what Haley's gonna be when she grows up. Haley's his daughter. I'm like, you know
once,
what? You
once he
asking
said,
for it. You asking
once,
for it. And,
once
and,
he said that, it was over. It was over.
Eminem did not disappoint with that. But no, rest in peace to Irv Gotti. I won't call him an icon, but definitely a major contributor to the world of hip hop. And I did see some, I guess somebody's camera phone, Ja Rule speaking at his services, and everybody said it was all emotional. I guess everybody was expecting what was Ja gonna say, on Irv's behalf. But
Yeah, I know
another,
Ashanti didn't show up. Nah,
you know what? No, no, you good because that's the first thing that I said. I said, I know damn well Ashanti ain't showing up. Because one, Nelly gonna be like, you gonna go see that motherfucker? You know, No, but Shanti didn't show up. But if she had, it's out of respect. Whatever happened in the end is what happened in the end. But there were so many memories that they created, during the creative process, hanging out in the studio, on tour, and stuff like that. So the good outweighing the bad is obviously the bad is outweighing the good at this point. But I'm sure she had her point in reflection of the good times with Irv Gotti. And I ain't talking about the sexual things. Moving on.
I was gonna say a joke, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave.
Oh, let us know what the fellas think. What you
Nah, I'm gonna
thinking?
leave. I'm gonna leave it.
Uh,
Nah,
I
because
would have I
I
would have said it. If Jeremy
I
was
well,
here, he
I'm
would
gonna
have said
say,
it.
you not talking about the sexual things. That ain't the Roy we know. But the Roy,
Yeah, you
but
should have
moving
kept
on,
that to you.
moving
You should have kept that to yourself. Because I thought you had a joke about Irv. It was about me.
on. We moving on. We moving on.
Look, I'm that's a character. I'm a real nice guy. For those that know me, comment. I need you guys to validate me. Put it in the comment section. Roy's a good guy. But moving on. Uh, in the world of Bad Boy, we got two stories. Uh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with today. Biggie's mom passed. Valletta Wallace. I didn't know
Yes.
about that. Brandon told me about that. Did you have any other details on what it was, what happened, or how old she was?
Uh, I don't know the details of how she passed. I just know she
Okay.
passed,
All
and
right,
it
give it
looks
a couple of
for
days.
the
By the time we
yeah
air this, everybody will know, and you can
yeah
Google how old she is. So
yeah.
let me
No,
stop being an interview.
she's uh I believe the last report she's 71 or 72, I believe. But don't quote me on that. I don't know the exact age, but she did pass today, and then definitely shines light with everything going on with Bad Boy now. But she was
Right.
just shout out to her because she was a great mother. She supported her son legacy even after he passed. So she was continued to be a great mother. She was a great voice for
I mean,
his music and
and if
everything.
even if the movie, even if I can quote the movie and what I saw, I mean, she was a great mom
Mm,
before the record deal. She
mm,
wanted nothing but the best from him for him,
mm,
and even after his passing, she kept his name in a positive light. And
mm,
I like how she when this Diddy stuff came to light, she found out that Diddy was using her son and stuff like this. She said, if I see that man, I'd slap him. And you would think the way he was around Biggie, he's like, oh, B.I.G. forever and making songs and all that stuff and tribute albums. You think he would have been in contact with his mother more if it
Mhm.
was really genuine. Uh, man, damn, Miss Wallace, he used you like he did Mace. or
Oh
anybody
Lord.
or anybody else that signed the bad boy. Can't stop, won't stop.
Now you know Make's gonna get on. Now,
You know what? Let me quit, because him and Cameron go do a special song. uh, Like they some what it is wannabes. Now we just trying to, we're nothing like them. I like watching that show actually. I seeing
now,
Cameron in that light. He
now you
still
know.
keeps it hood.
Now we gonna be you gonna have to make a diss song like oh my goodness brother. You have to make a diss.
I'll be ready. I would do is I would sample Pink by Aerosmith. I'd loop that, and then I'd go in on them, because back in the day that was his color, pink. He's all
Yeah.
draped out in the pink fur, pink hat, and everything. But no, I ain't messing with Cameron. But trying to shed light from his focus, Diddy, whose trial starts next month, if I'm not correct, and I'm
Hmm.
mistaken. Yeah, he's suing NBC.
Yes. They did some real shady stuff with the documentary, trying to make it basically like how he's the cause of allegedly, of course, that he's the cause of his the mother of his kids. What's her name? Porter.
Karen Porter, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Basically shining him a light, saying he's a uh, multiple allegations of him sexually assaulting people, being a murderer, and all this stuff, just painting negative lights on him. So he's suing them for $100 million, and I actually think he might win because ain't no way.
so I'm glad you said sexually, allegedly sexual abusing
Mm.
people, because it's been reported male and female.
Yeah, and if you
And
watch that documentary,
the story
security.
behind Karen Porter is they said working at I forgot what record label it was. She had access to the cameras,
Mm.
and allegedly something went down with Diddy and another guy, and she kept it as not so much blackmail, but she knew she would probably need it somewhere down the road. And the story goes is that she was getting ready to write a tell-all book, and Diddy Diddy took out, put her to sleep. You know,
Well, well, to me, in the documentary, if you watch it, there's a security guard, and he's from the shadow because he didn't show his face. He looks like a pretty big ass dude, and then Diddy ain't that big to me. Ain't no way a big ass man is gonna get raped by little old Diddy, and you 6'6", 320 pounds. You
not not
ain't
not
some.
unless you not unless you fake resisting. Stop. Quit that. Unbuckling his
that's
pants. You better stop. Especially
that's
now that my pants are down. You stop.
that's what I mean. And I'm not trying to shine make light of people that really went through this stuff. I just don't believe some of these allegations are coming from these people. Because how in the hell, like you say, you 6'6", 320, you a big burly dude, and you telling me Diddy forced himself on you? I don't believe it. That's just me.
You better quit it.
That's just me.
Uh, so yeah, like I said, Diddy trial will be starting up in the next couple of weeks, so that's definitely going to be something we will be recapping and
Mhm.
updating on. NBA All Star Weekend. We were all looking forward to this, but not in the manner of, oh man, it's All Star Weekend. We
Mhm.
were looking at this like, how bad is this four-team tournament going to be? And before we get into the highlight, the grand show, let's talk about the celebrity game. Uh, I taped it. I haven't been able to watch it. All I know is Drewski just knew he had won. He was like, and then they handed the trophy to somebody else. Uh, yeah,
Four total points.
Drewski's a character.
Four total points.
Well, that's just that narcissist attitude that he thought he was so great that he brought, you know, whatever to the team. Was he even on the winning team?
No, I think the other guy, Kai's the net. I don't know how to say his last name, but he was on that winning team. But to me, I just thought that was entertaining. There was great laughs and all that. And of course, there aren't many celebrities out there that know how to play ball. Other than really, I only think of Chris Brown as being the most famous one.
No. So they kind of went through that because they was trying to make a big deal about
Mm,
everything just to get, viewership back, so to say. They had Justin Timberlake was a nice little baller when he was with NSYNC. Uh,
no,
I can't think of the other players. I know
J.
Jaleel White.
Cole, yeah, Jaleel White,
So,
Gilly, uh, what's the other guy? I can't think of his name, but
but
he a New Yorker.
there are some pretty decent celebrity ball players.
Mm,
But some of the people they had is just like, why the fuck is she there? And I say that specifically because they had a wrestler there, Bailey, and she just didn't seem like she belonged there.
Well, it's a celebrity thing, and like it's popularity. A lot
Right.
of
It's
people
not. It's
watch.
not. It's not the skills competition. It's not the All Star game. It's the
Mhm.
celebrity game.
Well, I'm glad you said the skills competition because I don't know if you saw how Chris Paul got Wendy eliminated because that was he told him the plan. What we just gonna do? We gonna throw these balls. We ain't gonna even aim for
Right.
the rim.
Right. We're just gonna, and that got them disqualified. And he
Mm,
was told that they had to take legitimate shot attempts.
yeah,
I see where he was going with that, but I would think Chris Paul had more sense than that.
yeah, he knew damn better than that, man. And the young one, Wimby, gonna follow right behind. That's like
They
be a
seemed like
better
they had a
vet.
game plan. Yeah, it's like it seemed like that was discussed. This is what we're gonna do. But hey,
but
I can be that line skipper too, so I can see that too. Like, damn. So I should have legitimately taken a shot attempt, and it'd have been one of those ones that literally just fall right in front of me. I would, and it just boop, shot attempt. So it wasn't based on how many points. It was based on what points and time, or
yeah,
what
points
was
in
the
time,
okay?
points in time,
And he was focusing on time.
all time. Yeah,
So
but that was.
the top of the 3 point line and from the corner is the shots that they purposely miss.
Mhm. And he was just throwing them on the floor. He was like, "Screw
Right.
it, screw it." But
But
I won't
everybody
even.
else, oh, go ahead.
I wouldn't even say that was the highlight for me. And we'll get to this, but that dunk contest that was inspiring, and I ain't been that way since Aaron Gordon and Zach Levine left the dunk contest because that was the most competitive one. Back to back, they was getting 50s, doing stuff we never seen. And the gentleman, the I had to say he's a white athlete because we never seen a white athlete jump like this. And surprisingly, white man can jump. But
Well, I also to say I saw that lame phrase all over Facebook when he was like, and I'm like, yeah, that was lame, bro.
white man can jump. White man
No,
can
yeah,
jump.
he did some incredible stuff, but I'm still not sold on the dunk contest as a whole. I think the dunk contest lost its fire in '92.
Nah, I say after 2001, they lost the fire.
Teach his own. I mean,
Yeah.
'92, I just felt like it was on the decline, and I say that because that was that was the year I graduated from high school, and I just remember like watching this. Like I don't.
Wait, wait. 92 was the year. Didn't Jordan? Wasn't Jordan in '92?
No, Jordan was in '88. I don't know if he was in '92. I think that was after Jordan.
Oh, okay, okay.
I might be wrong, but it was around that time, and I just remember like even with Michael Jordan, it's like after he did the dunk from the free throw line, I just felt like there was nothing else really that could be done. You know, Kenny Skywalker, the New York Knicks, he put on a good show. He was actually a sub in 1 year. Uh, D Brown, he had to pump up Reeboks high tops. So before his dunk, he pumped them up, and that was a show. He was putting on a show when he did that, and then he covered his face when he dunked. That was great. I just feel like everybody's doing the same thing.
I don't. I used to feel that way, but with this gentleman Matt doing what he did, he inspired Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine because now they talking about coming back. And to see that if those three come and they doing the same dunk contest, and maybe just maybe we'll get somebody like Giannis, somebody like Ja Morant, somebody like Anthony Edwards, someone with some star power to bring to the dunk
You want you
contest.
want you want a big guy like Giannis in the dunk contest?
And Giannis can jump any long. So that
Well,
that makes a great
then shit,
conversation.
you might as put Wembley ass in there too. Shit, I mean, I don't
Wemby
think the
can't jump. Wemby can't jump.
he can still dunk it, and he really don't have to put much effort into dunking. That's why I say
Yeah,
that.
but Giannis can jump, can really jump. So like he an athlete. So I would think that would be good. That's like if a prime Shaq, 93 Shaq, 94 Shaq did it, who could
I, I
really
don't
jump.
I don't think Shaq. I mean, with his monster dunks, there was nothing for him to be in the dunk contest. Dwight Howard, when he was in the dunk contest, I'm like, he's too big to be in the dunk contest.
Nah, I think he could have got up prime Shaq. I'm not talking about Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard he don't really do no splashy stuff to me. Like that Superman cape thing. And he missed the rim too, by the way. The man didn't dunk, he threw it. So I just want to say that. But
Mm.
I think Shaq would have been great because he would have done some power dunks, some unique, some stuff, some flair to it. All these dunkers is coming back to me. And I was inspired. That's why I said it was my highlight of the All-Star weekend, because you saw some inspirational dunks. Like that stuff
Oh,
was crazy.
and my man Tyler Hero of the Miami Heat won the 3-point contest, representing my Heat squad. I'll be heading down to a game in March.
Okay.
I picked a bad time because the spring break and them airplane tickets is ridiculous. So yeah,
Almost said something insensitive. I ain't gonna say
no, I made what? You hope I crash? Damn, ain't that fucked up?
that.
No,
Nah, I was saying don't fly Delta, but
oh no, I don't. And I don't get paid. No, Delta's not even in my top three. So, and I don't get paid to say who I fly. It's one of the national leading brands. But again, I'm not shouting nobody out unless I get paid. I'm sorry. I'm not a private dancer. I dance for the money. I'll shake it in front of a crowd. I'll shake it in front of a crowd. But no, didn't realize is during like the spring break period. So I actually had travel credit that I'm using, but I know the hotels are going to be jacked up. But at least I ain't got to pay for the game tickets.
Yeah.
Um, the All Star game itself, I was pretty impressed. And before we go into details, I just want to say this: they can probably do that for about 2, maybe 3 more years before they need to go back to the regular format, no matter what. It is a great concept, but I don't see it lasting a long time. This is a 2, 3 year thing, and then you go back to the regular East versus West.
My problem I took with it was I couldn't really identify the all stars. Who were the all stars? Because of everything, it was too much. It felt like too much was going on. Like they had the guy, Mr. Beast, doing the half court shot. Why are we televising that shit? Like that's something that you
That
do
was
at the arena.
cool, but I don't care. That was cool to see him make that shot.
But nah, for me, I just want to see the All Stars. That's what I try him in to see. I don't care about the kid gonna make the shot. You highlight that he made the shot when we come back from commercial break.
No,
I don't want it.
that was
I
drama build up. That was the last shot at the
nah.
buzzer. I'm glad I saw it from beginning to end because it was like I'm glad Kenny moved him from off to the side to straight up at the top. That because
Yeah,
that's the first thing I was thinking. I'm like he should be straight up at the top, not coming off as an angle. And I'm like, look at your shot, readjust. You're right there. You got the
I di-
distance.
I didn't like it because I came to see the All Star and I couldn't identify who the All Stars was because they had so much crap going on. And I was like, the games were competitive and all that, but I think this format is not going to work if they was trying to get them to play. And it's the players' fault too that they got to do all this crazy gimmick shit. It's the players' fault because of lack of
Yeah.
effort. It's the
Hmm.
lack of effort, and I don't even
You got
understand
games
it.
that literally go to like 170 something to 182 or some shit like
Yeah,
that. Uh,
and
do I want
the
to see?
thing,
I don't think I want to see too much defense in an All Star game. I think
nah,
let's
I
go
want to
for
see
it.
that. I want to see. It's just like a playoff game though. When you got a strong defensive game going on, you in every shot is intensified. Every shot is intensified, and
Hey,
that's the thing I want to see.
hold on. Y'all saw this shit, right? Y'all saw Brandon flexing and shit. He been at the gym, so he's showing off his arms. Look at him. Look like him. Hey,
nah,
is the
nah,
gym that way?
nah, nah. But I'm just saying, when you see competitive basketball, it's like when you go to the park. You see everybody doing the dunks and everything. Oh, I got you. It's like when the dream team was playing against each other. And they was like, oh no, I got you here, I got you here. Now, and matching like you better get them back here. Like that's the fun of basketball. And I think it's sad to see there are literally players in today's game that have made over 200 plus $1 million and ain't even played 50% of their career games. That's
Talking about
that's
Bronny again. How much is
I'm
Bronny's
not
contract?
13 minutes, but he ain't. I ain't talking about Bronny. I'm talking about.
I
I'm
am
talking
for a
people
little
like
bit.
it. I'm talking about people like Embiid. I'm talking like people like Kawhi. I'm talking people like Paul George. I'm talking. They ain't even played majority of their games, and yet they got 200 plus million, and they ain't even putting forth the effort to me
Oh, yeah,
when they
I get what you're
play.
saying. Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the problem to me.
Oh,
That's why
yeah.
the
By the
game's
way,
looking.
Bronny has the worst career field goal percentage of any NBA player in history.
Wow. He only played what?
But
Two games, three games?
that's one of them stats they threw up and threw out there.
That's gotta be impossible. That's gotta be impossible. You know how
But
many players are coming to the league?
look,
That's gotta be impossible.
I can just see Daddy LeBron's attitude. Just saying, "You're my son. You're my son. That's okay. That's okay. We gonna get there." You fucking embarrassing me.
Hey,
I should
nah,
disown your ass.
nah, it ain't like Michael Jordan's sons. It ain't like
That's
that.
true.
It
True.
ain't like that.
Yeah.
It ain't like that. It's a little bit better than that.
All right. So we're eating up the clock, so we got to move along.
Okay.
Captain America. Did you see it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I went
I
and
didn't.
saw it
I give it an
Thursday
8 out
night.
of 10. Give it an 8 out of 10.
I'm with you with that. I'm with you with that. Everybody was saying that it was the lowest rated Captain America movie, and Marvel was on a trend. I would say like the last 4 or 5 movies have been very disappointing. It's just like they wanted to throw stuff out there, and I am a true comic book fan. I grew up reading these in the paper pages, turn it and then still have them in my possession, bagged and boarded because it's part of my retirement plan. I read these comic books, and to see these comic books come to life, so to say, is just a thing for me. So I kind of take the Marvel universe seriously. But the last five, they was on their high horse because they was making this $1 billion here. But they just felt like, oh, let's keep pushing out product, and they put out like some of the crappiest movies, in my opinion. But I'm gonna go see it anyway. The one movie. that I was kind of skeptical to go see, and I think about it and laugh about it, was the first Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's one of their greatest ones up there with the first Iron Man or Thor Ragnarok, those movies. But Captain America in the weekend, the Monday and Friday alone, I mean Thursday and Friday alone, made its budget money back nationwide. That first, so everything now is profit. So I'm happy for Anthony Mackie. I'm happy. I think he did a good portrayal. See, there you go, showing off again. There's a good portrayal
I was
of
scratching.
him coming into himself, and inheriting the shield of Captain America. Not having the super soldier serum, and I'm getting into the geek. I think the whole story was just well played.
Mm.
Great build up to what's coming forth next. Um, the CGI, some of it was skeptical, and that's me as a fan. Really eyeballing everything. So that's where the points were taken away. Other than that, I just can't say that I have considered going to see it again, but I know in 2 months it'll be on Disney Plus, so I might as well just wait.
I will say the reason I give it an 8 out of 10 is just because the way they did Red Hall. I just was the it was too short for me. Like my thing, I wish it would have been more of a less of a build up to it, and then showing more of a like a transition into him being Red Hawk. Like
Well,
I
you
know they got
saw
to
it.
make.
You saw that through the whole movie and just didn't realize it. Every time he took one of those pills, he was ingesting that gamma radiation. I think, and I'm not to
That was
cut you
that
off,
was
but I disagree. I think what they did with him and having him be the final boss and show his dark side then, I think that was great because he had to deal with other obstacles and it played out good. The only other problem I have besides the CGI is that man keeps breaking his damn wings. And it's supposed to be vibranium. How did they get ripped off so easy? That's what I call bullshit on.
well. The thing is, when I say build up, that was all that was showing the build up to him transforming into the Red Hawk.
Hmm.
What I'm saying when I want to see a transition of him being the Red Hawk, like because there's a point in the comic books where he's gained control of that, just like Bruce Banner has.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean by that.
You
Lead
you
up
not
to
you
that.
you no you wasn't gonna see that in this movie when you just got introduced.
Yeah, but that's what I you could have the build up and the transition in the same movie. It'll lead
I
into
I
something
think
else.
I think that forces. I think you can put it off to the side. I've already read that there is talks of him returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so we might see the Red Hulk, and we might see, he can throw a little backstory. I got into meditating, and now I know how to control it. I can even control, when I change into the Hulk or whatever. But not all that too soon. Just like with Black Panther, the second Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman died. It would have been a totally different story if he was still alive. But they had to switch it up. I think they made Siri the Black Panther too soon. There was a point in the comics that M'Baku was the Black Panther. I would have had liked to have seen him as the Black Panther and him say, you know what, it feels great, but it's not for me, or something like that. But they
Mm.
kind of did the opposite. They made her Black Panther, but actually, let it be known he is the king of Wakanda right now. She felt like she was a better warrior than she would be a ruler. So, M'Baku is the Black Panther right now. But I think you could have tastefully pushed it along if you'd have made him the Black Panther in the second movie. Now for the third one, they're talking about recasting Chadwick bosom, bozeman. So what are they gonna say? Oh, it was just a dream, or
it's
I got
it's
regenerated by the mystic waters of Unka Bunka or whatever the fuck. How do you explain him coming back? Or is he gonna be from a different timeline or different universe, and he comes and settles in here? Oh, we need a king.
well,
I'll stay.
well, the thought was it's supposed to be his son.
No, 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 no,
That's
no. His son, they did introduce his son, but
mm,
they're talking about bringing back somebody to. They're trying to recast Black Panther.
they must gonna rewrite the whole story then if they gonna do that.
I don't know. We'll see when it comes out, but
Yeah,
it
that's
was also set up for his son to take the mantle as well.
yeah, yeah. That's what I thought where it was leading to.
But yeah, they're talking about recasting the Black Panther role. So I could see them pulling him from another universe and like, okay, this universe needs my help. I will stay, blah 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 blah, something like that.
Oh, you know what I think it could be though, because they have multi-dimension.
That's what I'm
So
saying. From a different
yeah,
dimension,
yeah. So
from a
that's
different universe. Yeah,
yeah. I agree with you on that. I agree with you.
yeah. But overall, Captain
8 out of 10.
America was great, and I agree with the 8 out of 10. During the previews, I like to get there at the previews. People like to show up when the movie starts. I like to see what's coming out, and I
Mhm.
saw a bunch of movies that I'm like, wow, I got it on my AMC app. I'm putting there, reminder when it comes out or whatever. There's this one, I forgot what it's called, The Temp or something. It's basically the guy that played Fred Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody, and he was on that TV show about technology. You know what I'm talking about. Uh, he works for the government, but he's like an accountant or something like that. And his wife gets killed, and he wants to go after the guy that killed him. And it's like, you know what? You sit behind a desk. You could pull the trigger, and the previews kind of speaks for itself. He's not just gonna have some montage where he just super badass ultimate killer and shit. It's gonna be trial and error, and he's gonna do a lot of fumbling. And I definitely want to check that out. And another one is I think it's called Mickey 17. Stephen Yu from who played Glenn on Walking Dead. The premise is he dies and they like a 3D printer they reprint another one of him, and I think he dies several times during the movie. That looks kind of interesting. So and I was just on the phone with a friend last night talking about this. Last year was a big disappointment for me as far as movies went, especially summer movies. I mean, movie companies usually bring their A game during the summer. Summer blockbusters. It's called that for a reason. And last year's movies were a big disappointment. I think we started out real good with Den of Thieves 2. That was a great movie. I don't know if you saw that.
Nah, I didn't get to see that, but I want to get back to your previews because two previews that I want to see. Well, really three, but Thunderbolts. I'm interested in seeing that
Oh yeah, of
because
course. That goes without nothing. That goes without
yeah,
saying. Yeah.
I like Black Widow's sister, her character. I like to see it because she has a more of the funny side to her than what Natasha had.
Mm-hmm.
Or so I like seeing that. And then I also want to see even though I think it may be getting played out at this point with John Wick. I like to see the transition over to the woman, and then he plays a role in helping her get exacting her
Oh,
revenge.
oh yeah. I'll definitely check that out. Yeah, I'll definitely
Yeah,
check that out.
I definitely like that, and I like the kind of a cheesy comic horror film. I'll say that, comma horror type thing. The Hard Eyes. I was kind of interested in seeing that. like
That makes
I
me
really,
reminds me the Final Destination's coming out. I can't wait to see that.
yeah. That's another one. That's another one that it's some pretty. I think this year I would say they're doing a lot better with the movies, just based off the previews.
So bro Skilla, I'm looking at the time. We have really been pushing it, and we still got something to talk about. So we're gonna move along. We can always come back to the movies. The movies can be
Yeah,
there every week.
yeah.
Uh, so I got here. I don't know why. Pandora's box. I tried to show you guys Pandora's box last week, and now you guys are asking me what's in it. Uh, I will share that with you guys next week. What's in Pandora's box?
I put some suspense to
Yeah, I put some suspense to it. Next week, my word is my bond. I will open Pandora's box and show you the contents. And
it.
I know you gonna guys gonna get a kick out of it and laugh. But let's Brandon, this has been a good show. You know, we're recording on a day out of the norm.
Mhm.
Cause of Brandon's fault. Oh, let me raise my. It's Brandon's fault. No, but and Jeremy kind of lost track and totally forgot that we were going to be recording. And I say that to say this. It happens whether it be work or whatever. But the first time Jeremy couldn't show, I'm like, how are we going to go on? We're a group. We're a crew. It's three of us. And I think we had the most amazing time. Uh, and not to say we had fun without him, but we carried on in his honor. He was there in spirit. But yeah, here we are again. This makes like the fourth or fifth episode, if I'm not keeping count. And because Mr. Perfect attendance here.
Hey, I'm gonna wear it like a badge on.
You know what? People that brag about perfect attendance are the same people that used to say on Friday afternoon, "Teacher, you forgot to give us homework over the weekend."
Nah, I want that crate. Make sure you jump him.
And so, as always, we like to leave it with some affirmations,
Yes.
something positive, something for you to absorb and think about, and carry it on into your life. Because it's all about peace here. It's all about having a good time. We educate, entertain, and inspire, but it's all about peace. I want you to light a joint and just kick back and listen to us, like I did earlier. So, Brandon, I'll let you start with your affirmation.
Well, I just want to give out two quick fun facts before I say
Okay.
that. Um, One is today is National Sticky Bun Day, so make sure you get yourself a honey bun or something. Get you a nice little pastry. And second, and this may be the reason why drugs still come to the U.S. Mexico has the largest underwater cave system. It's 215 miles in length. But uh, I'm going to my little affirmations here and very inspirational. Some of them. One is some people want it, some people wish it would happen. Others make it happen. Make it happen. Um, Another one is the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. So prepare, be prepared. And the last one here is try to be, try to stand for truth, no matter who tells it, and try to stand for justice, no matter who is for it or against
All right. That sounds like a promo for Superman, but no,
it.
I'm feeling it, bro. I
Yeah.
I I got. It's funny because I had like maybe three in my head, but I'm not gonna try to flood everybody. But I'm gonna just leave you with this one for you to marinate on. You know, um, to get something, you got to work for it. You got to build for it. You got to have a strong foundation, a strong support system, and I want to talk about one of the most important, you know, or two of the most important, you know, elements for success. It's good health and a good mind. You know, take care of your body. I mean, it's a natural healer, but treat it right. It shouldn't have to be working, double shifts over time. I've gotten to the point, it's just like the things that I was had glutton for is now it's like it's great. I'll have it every now and then, but I'm good with eating vegetables and drinking tea and stuff like that. Another thing is a strong mind. Don't let stress take up space in your body. Don't let problems that are irrelevant, you know, keep you from sleeping. At the end of the day, our bodies are a temple, you know, and your temple can be either the Taj Mahal or that condemned building on 63rd and Halsted. You know, whatever you choose, it's whatever you choose. And I use the Taj Mahal because it's big, it's elegant, and 63rd and Halsted for you Chicago people that know, you know, rundown buildings, abandoned buildings is not being taken care of. You know, the undesirables hang out. They spray paint. They shoot up drugs and all that stuff. So your body is a temple. It's what you choose it to be. But you got to give it the proper care. You just can't, in your mind, want something. You got to put forth the necessary effort to have that fit body, that strong mind, and don't be afraid to get help along the way. You know, we talk about men's health, uh, definitely, but mental health as well. Sometimes, you know, everyday life can take a toll, and just like you take medicine for your body, you know, medicine for your mind is therapy. You know, talking it out and trying to sort it out. Don't hold it in. If you don't seek professional help, reach out to a friend that will listen and not just nod their head and say, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Someone that really cares and can empathize with what you're going through. So remember, your body's a temple, and you have the choice for is it elegance or is it vacated? Is it, you know, undesirable inhabitants? And then that's all I got, bro.
Hey, I just want to say on 63rd and Halsted, it may be in abandoned buildings, but you can get a great hot dog. Let me
You are on a fucking roll tonight.
let me,
You are on a roll, I swear.
get some hot dogs and fries. Ain't
Get
something.
a great
Anyway.
Italian beef or a gym stew.
Yeah, I think we had another great episode of what the
Number
fellas
30,
think.
number 37.
Number 37. 37. I ain't gonna stick up the fingers 'cause I don't. Can I
Right,
do? Okay,
yeah,
well.
that's this.
They gonna start thinking I'm remedial in here. But anyway. uh,
No.
yeah, I hope our audience was definitely entertained, inspired, and informed tonight. So definitely like, comment, and subscribe. We gonna continue the process going with this. What the fellas think.
Right.
Look
And
forward
you
to it.
know, you want to check me out, you want to follow me, I'm Elroy Johnson on Instagram. I'm also Elroy Johnson on Facebook. I'm also Chunky Lover 69 somewhere else on OnlyFans. I don't shh.
Yeah,
But
with
nah,
you got 2 subscribers.
right.
No, we still stop.
Two loyal fans. They my only fans. But no, if you want to follow me and see what I'm about in my real life, you know, just hit me up. Um, that's all I got, Brandon. You finish it off. You got that catchphrase that we use at the end of the show.
Oh yeah. Like, comment, and subscribe, and definitely be entertained, inspired, and informed to your watchers. Thank you.
Peace, y'all.